Here's a 12-inch Super tilting box fan in a nice blue color scheme. This was made by Lasco, and I got this one a few years ago actually, a similar time when I found the other one that I cleaned up and serviced around that time. That other one's in slightly better condition. This one is a little bit yellowed, and there's a completely broken and missing slat. On the other fan that I have, there was a broken slat somewhere down here, but thankfully that was still inside of the cabinet, so I was able to glue it back in place. But this one, it's completely MIA. But anyways, this fan, other than it being a little dusty, it's in overall good shape. If you're wondering why the blades are perfectly clean while the rest of the fan has some dust, is because I actually started cleaning this fan. I took the blades off and I washed it along with another fan that I was working on at the same time, but I just got caught up with stuff and I ended up just kind of throwing this fan back together, and I didn't clean anything else other than the blades. So that is why the blades are spotless. But at some point I want to go through it again and clean the whole thing up, because these are somewhat hard to find. Here's the side profile. So we got a tiltable stand. Here's the back. So I guess if you're looking from the side, it's got a Fasco motor in there, shaded pole. Interesting how there's no vents on the back to keep the motor cool, but I suppose that the air going around it is sufficient. Got the cord wrap. Metal stand here. Some of the later models had a plastic covered stand. A little bit of rust, not too big of a deal. And I don't think, at least not to my knowledge, that this has a sticker on the bottom. Nope, it does not. It still has the feet though. Got some cobwebs. And also, I think one problem this fan has, it's missing like a rubber spacer or something here, because you can see how the whole stand scraped up the plastic as the fan was being tilted. So, yeah, it's kind of deep. I'm not sure if that will buff out. Famous words for all you automotive enthusiasts out there. It'll buff out. Anyways, let's give it a test. So this says a reversed speed sequence, so instead of going off, low, medium, high, it kind of goes off, low, medium, high. Just realized this is loose. Gonna try to glue it back down. Start it up on low. Now this is a beautifully running fan. Got a nice little startup sound too. Now despite this being a relatively small box fan, it sounds like a much larger fan. It's got a nice, full and deep rumble to it as it runs, which is very pleasing to the ears. Very well balanced too. And you can tell just from seeing the reflection on the blades that they're relatively consistent, which is a visual indicator that the blades were molded well, and each of the blade wings are in alignment relative to the others. Because you'll see sometimes when they're badly molded, or for metal blades when they're bent out of shape, the reflections will be extremely inconsistent. They'll kind of bounce around, but it's pretty smooth with this one. It's already moving a good amount of air. There's medium. full speed. Now, one common problem with Fastco motors is that they have a very delicate fiber felt washer that they use, and oftentimes as the motor ages, that fiber washer, well, it's not a fiber washer, it's a felt washer, it deteriorates and it causes the rotor to sit further back than it's supposed to. And that causes the magnetic field of the motor to want to drag, and that causes the rotor to try to bounce back into its center alignment with the stator, and that causes a nasty rattle, especially when you tilt the fan up. I'm not sure. There you go. That's the sound you heard. So I'm not surprised. Apparently, I remember a fan collector told me that that was a common problem on Fastco motors, and it looks like this is not an exception. So I'll go in there and replace the washer. Alright, let's shut the fan down. Check out the spin down. If I recall correctly, this fan's got a pretty good spin down time, despite me not oiling it. Not yet, of course. That's really good. Wow, that was, I don't know how long that was, but that's one of the longer spin down times among the fans in my collection. Let's check out the spin down time, or not the spin down time, the startup sound. I'm pretty certain I heard it as it was starting up. Here it is on low. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm tempted to do it on high, but considering how long this fan takes to coast down, I think you get the idea. We'll skip it. So anyways, that's the 70s 12-inch Super tilting box fan. Very, very cool fan. Glad to have two of them. And I'll try to see if I can somehow repair that. Maybe get a piece of plastic, like polystyrene, and cut it to shape. Maybe paint match it and glue it back on. We'll see. Anyways, that is the 70s Super tilting box fan. We're not gonna wait for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Oh, perfect timing.